Welcome to Beyond the Call, where history, leadership, and heroism come alive. Today's episode explores the story of Captain William Wylie Galt, a powerful story of courage and perseverance. If you enjoy learning more about military history and extraordinary individuals, be sure to visit trackpads.com for articles, podcasts, and more. Introduction. Captain William Wylie Galt displayed extraordinary bravery and self-sacrifice during one of the most intense engagements in the Italian campaign of World War II. On May 29, 1944, at Villa Crocetta, Italy, Galt took decisive action in the face of overwhelming odds, actions for which he was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. Amid relentless enemy fire and with his battalion pinned down, Galt personally mounted a tank destroyer, leading a charge that would change the course of the battle and exemplify the highest ideals of military valor. His courage and decisive leadership remain an enduring symbol of American heroism. When the lone remaining tank destroyer refused to go forward, Captain Galt jumped on the vehicle and ordered it to precede the attack. That quote vividly captures the pivotal moment that defined Galt's heroism. Fully aware of the danger, he stood exposed, operating the tank destroyer's machine gun while directing fire against entrenched enemy positions. Even when severely wounded, Galt continued his fierce defense, refusing to abandon his post until the mission was accomplished. His unwavering determination in the face of almost certain death provided inspiration for his men and set a powerful example for future generations of service members. Historical context. The battle at Villa Crocetta took place amid the grueling Allied advance through Italy, known historically as the Italian Campaign. Initiated with the invasion of Sicily in July of 1943, the campaign aimed to remove Italy from the war and to divert German forces from other fronts. By 1944, the Allied push had reached the rugged terrain of central Italy, characterized by fortified German positions and challenging logistics. The fierce resistance from well-entrenched enemy forces turned battles like the one at Villa Crocetta into brutal confrontations marked by intense close-quarter fighting. Geopolitically, the Italian campaign served as a critical element in weakening the Axis alliance by knocking Italy out of the war. Following Mussolini's downfall in 1943, Italy surrendered, though German forces continued to fiercely contest every inch of Italian territory. This left the Allies fighting against battle-hardened German troops determined to slow their progress northward. The campaign, therefore, was vital, not only militarily but also psychologically, demonstrating Allied resolve and gradually eroding Axis morale. The main players in this phase of World War II included seasoned American, British, and Canadian forces, confronting veteran German troops under Field Marshal Albert Kesselring. Kesselring had effectively established multiple defensive lines across Italy, including the formidable Gustav Line and later the Gothic Line. These lines were designed specifically to slow the Allied advance. On the Allied side, key commanders such as General Mark Clark and General Harold Alexander navigated complex tactical decisions while balancing political pressures from home governments demanding swift victories. Within this challenging context, the role of Captain Galt's unit, the 1st Battalion, 168th Infantry Regiment, part of the 34th Infantry Division, proved particularly critical. Nicknamed the Red Bull Division, this unit earned a reputation for tenacity and effectiveness, battling through North Africa and up the mountainous spine of Italy. Their experience in prolonged frontline fighting had honed their ability to perform under extreme pressure and adverse conditions. By the time they reached Villa Crocetta, they were a battle-tested force, adept at overcoming entrenched enemy resistance. The battle for Villa Crocetta was specifically significant because it involved breaking through heavily fortified German positions guarding strategic approaches towards Rome. German troops had established an intricate network of trenches, bunkers, and artillery emplacements, making any offensive action extraordinarily costly. Captain Galt's courageous charge was not just a heroic isolated incident, but a tactical turning point in overcoming this formidable German defense. His actions directly contributed to the larger goal of securing strategic positions essential for the continuation of the Allied advance into the heart of occupied Italy. Personal background: William Wylie Galt was born on December 19, 1919, in the small town of Geyser, Judith Basin County, Montana. Growing up in rural Montana, he embodied the rugged individualism and quiet determination typical of his community. After attending Stanford University and participating in the Reserve Officers Training Corps at Montana State University, Galt entered military service in June of 1942. He married Patricia Ann Sanbo shortly afterward, just before embarking on overseas deployment. Tragically, Galt's promising life and career were cut short when he was killed in action at Villa Crocetta, Italy, on May 29, 1944. At only 24 years old, his heroism was recognized posthumously with the Medal of Honor. It was presented to his widow, Patricia, by Brigadier General Dale V. Gaffney at Great Falls, Montana Air Force Base on February 19, 1945. Today, Captain Galt rests in Mount Olivet Cemetery in Great Falls, Montana, remembered as a symbol of extraordinary courage, leadership, and sacrifice. Medal of Honor citation: for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at risk of life above and beyond the call of duty, Captain Galt, commanding an infantry battalion of the 168th Infantry 34th Infantry Division, advanced against strongly fortified enemy positions near Villa Crocetta, Italy, on May 29, 1944. His battalion had suffered heavy casualties and was pinned down by intense artillery, mortar, and small arms fire from well-entrenched enemy positions. Captain Galt, with utter disregard for his own safety, jumped onto a tank destroyer whose crew had been reduced by enemy fire to one man and ordered the vehicle to advance. As the tank destroyer moved forward, Captain Galt manned its .30 caliber machine gun in an exposed position on the turret, delivering effective fire into enemy positions. Although wounded, he remained at his post until he was again seriously wounded, mortally. His heroic initiative and inspiring valor in the face of certain death were instrumental in overcoming enemy resistance. They enabled his battalion to continue its advance, reflecting great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. The Battle and Medal of Honor actions. On the morning of May 29, 1944, Captain William Wylie Galt faced a battlefield engulfed in chaos near Villa Crocetta, Italy. German artillery shells exploded relentlessly, pinning down his battalion in a fierce crossfire. And recognizing that his men were mobilized by enemy positions entrenched behind layers of fortifications, Captain Galt realized immediate action was imperative. With casualties mounting rapidly, he took it upon himself to shift the momentum and break the stalemate that threatened to decimate his unit. Amid the din of explosions and flying debris, Galt spotted a tank destroyer stalled, its crew severely diminished due to the heavy fire. Understanding that this vehicle represented their last viable chance to rally a counterattack, he acted without hesitation. Galt sprinted through the open terrain under a hailstorm of bullets, climbed aboard the exposed deck of the vehicle, and took command of the lone remaining crew member. His authoritative presence immediately galvanized the soldier to push forward, steering the machine directly toward the enemy's formidable defenses. Fully exposed atop the tank destroyer's turret, Captain Galt personally manned the mounted .30 caliber machine gun. Despite incoming rounds whizzing dangerously close and artillery shells detonating around him, he methodically directed suppressive fire into enemy machine gun nests and sniper positions. Galt's determined assault forced enemy soldiers to momentarily duck for cover, creating a brief yet invaluable window of opportunity for his infantry to reorganize and advance behind him. As the tank destroyer crawled forward through withering enemy fire, Captain Galt sustained his first injury. A fragment from a nearby shell explosion struck him, causing severe pain and bleeding. Nevertheless, Galt refused medical assistance and maintained his relentless offensive, continuing to fire and bark orders that echoed through the smoky battlefield. Witnessing their commander's visible disregard for his own life, inspired the soldiers following closely behind, fueling their determination to fight onward. With enemy defenses beginning to waver under the concentrated assault led by Captain Galt, German resistance intensified further, aiming specifically at the tank destroyer. Enemy soldiers recognized the pivotal threat posed by the lone vehicle and concentrated their firepower, attempting desperately to halt its advance. Despite this intensified effort, Galt held firm atop the exposed turret, continuing to target enemy positions, ensuring the momentum of the counterattack remained unbroken. Tragically, as he neared the heart of enemy defenses, a second devastating wound struck Captain Galt, mortally injuring him. Though grievously wounded and losing strength rapidly, he refused to abandon his exposed position atop the tank destroyer. Galt's final moments exemplified the highest ideals of leadership, sacrifice, and selfless bravery. He continued directing fire until he was physically unable to continue. His extraordinary courage and determination enabled his battalion to break through the previously impenetrable defenses at Villa Crocetta. This significantly contributed to the successful Allied advance toward Rome. Reflections and lessons learned. Captain William Wylie Galt's extraordinary courage under fire offers profound lessons about leadership and ethical responsibility that remain relevant today. His willingness to lead from the front, exposing himself to direct danger to inspire and protect his men, highlights the critical importance of personal accountability and moral courage in leadership roles. Modern leaders, both military and civilian, can draw inspiration from Galt's actions. They remind us that true leadership often requires personal risk and unwavering commitment to one's team. Additionally, Galt's decision-making in a crisis demonstrates the vital role of decisiveness and adaptability in overcoming adversity. Faced with limited options and overwhelming enemy resistance, he quickly assessed the battlefield, identified a critical tactical advantage, and executed a plan without hesitation. This ability to swiftly analyze situations, make difficult decisions under pressure, and commit fully to those decisions continues to be an essential skill in contemporary leadership scenarios, especially during complex or rapidly evolving challenges. Ultimately, Captain Galt's sacrifice underscores the broader value of selflessness and dedication to a mission greater than oneself. His final stand at Villa Crocetta epitomizes the ideals of service, integrity, and duty, qualities that define true heroism and exemplary leadership. The enduring impact of his actions reminds us that the true measure of a leader lies not in personal accolades, but in the willingness to place the welfare of others and the success of the mission above personal safety and self-interest. Captain William Wylie Galt's heroic actions at Villa Crocetta embody the essence of courage, sacrifice, and extraordinary leadership. His legacy continues to inspire soldiers and leaders, teaching invaluable lessons on bravery, decisive action, and selfless dedication. Join us next time on Beyond the Call as we uncover another extraordinary Medal of Honor story, sharing the remarkable deeds of those who went far beyond what duty required. Be sure to subscribe and share these powerful narratives of valor and sacrifice. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Beyond the Call. If you would like to dive deeper into more stories of bravery, leadership, and history, visit trackpaths.com. Until next time, keep exploring, stay inspired, and remember, the lessons of the past shape the warriors of the future.